and welcome. My name is Charyl, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today and for trusting me to guide you through your practice. So today's practice will be short and sweet. It's just something when you don't have a lot of time, but you want to get on the mat, and we'll work on creating some heat in the body, sending some fluid to the joints, and working on stretching the muscles and building a little bit of strength along the way. So for today's practice, I'm going to be playing with a set of blocks as well. So if you have a set of blocks or a stack of books or something that you would like to use as well, you can do that. I'm just going to have them at the top of my mat, almost to the edges on either side, just enough room for my foot to step through. So if you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. It's not necessary. But it's a fun little way to just get a little bit of different feeling in the body and giving you a little bit more space along the way. We'll play with an arm balance where blocks are actually pretty helpful for my body. So they might be helpful for yours as well. Without further ado, let's get straight into it, and we'll come into a child's pose in the middle of your mat. So bringing your big toes together to touch, and send your knees out as wide as what's comfortable for your body. And then start to fold over your legs. And you can start with having your hands just behind the blocks, just to give you a guide as to making it a little bit easier as we flow through the practice. And then melt forward. And if the floor is far away from here, you can go ahead and use your block up under your forehead now, or you can stack one fist on top of the other. But just find a variation of this shape that feels good in your body as we ground down. So as you arrive in your child's pose, either soften your gaze or close down your eyes and take a nice, deep, intentional breath. So inhale fully into your belly, your diaphragm, and your chest. Fill your lungs completely with air. And then exhale, let it all go. And start to take deep breaths, nice, full, and deep. And exhaling all the air out, nice and slow, as you ground down here. Just collect all pieces of yourself, the emotional components of you, your thoughts, your conscious brain, your body, your physical body, and just come and arrive on the mat completely. So you're not thinking about other things, just staying present. One of the things that helps to ground and to stay present throughout your practice is to think of a gratitude. So come up with something that you're grateful for, anything at all. And just really focus on that idea, that gratitude, whatever it is. Just sit in the warmth and the happiness that it brings to you. Anytime you start to wander mentally off of your mat, just come back to your gratitude and bring you back into your body and back into the moment. You'll take one more breath, letting it go, and then slowly starting to bring movement into your body. You can just sway from side to side. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open if your eyes are closed, and just refocus your gaze if it's softened. And then we'll slowly shift forward into a little tabletop. So just round forward, shift the weight onto your hands, and then send your hips back towards your heels. So we'll just come back and forth a couple times just to reawaken. So shift forward, coming into this tabletop. Back one more time. And then the next time you shift forward, just pause in your tabletop and then get really set in your tabletop. So bring your knees in closer together if they're really wide, stacking your knees directly up under your hips, and then stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Fingers are spread nice and wide, and just come into a very active tabletop. So hug your arms in towards the middle of your mat as you externally rotate. So rotate the upper arms so that the eye of your elbow is facing forward. And notice what's going on with your spine. Notice if you're sinking into your shoulders or if your belly is drooping down. And if they are, that's fine. Just push the ground away a bit so that you're in this neutral position, so you're not dumping into your shoulders. And draw your belly in to support your low back. Your shoulder blades are drawing down towards your pelvis. Lengthen throughout the crown of your head. So don't droop your head down to the floor. Your gaze is down and slightly ahead of you. Toes tucked or untucked, whichever makes sense for you. And now we're in a very active child's pose. The muscles are turning on. We're creating heat just being here, just holding this shape. Good, and just flow through a couple rounds of cat-cow to the pace of your own breath. So use your inhale, let your belly drop, let your gaze come forward and up. And then as you exhale, round your spine, release your tailbone and the crown of your head to the floor. Spread your shoulder blades really far apart and just flow through that a few more times to the pace of your breath. So it might not match mine, that's cool. In fact, it shouldn't. This is my breath, you do your own. And do one more round in our cat-cow. And really take your mind's eye to your spine, to your hips, to your shoulders, to your neck. And then come back to a neutral tabletop and just pause here and get reset. So hug the arms in. Just notice when you lose engagement. It happens to all of us. It happens to me all the time. Just notice it and then fix it. And then from here, we're going to play with just the shoulders. So sink your shoulders in between sink your chest in between your shoulders. So bring your shoulder blades closer together. Try not to include the lower half, right? Belly button still stays drawn to the spine. And just sink your chest down between your shoulders, and then spread your shoulders really far apart so you're doming just your upper back. And then when you've found your max for how far you can spread your shoulder blades apart, start to shift your shoulders forward over your fingers like you're peeking over a cliff. And then send your shoulders back to stack over your wrists, and then take a cow. So lower your belly down, send your chest forward and up, and then arrive back to a neutral tabletop. Reset, hug the arms in, engage the triceps, belly button to spine. And we'll do that one more time. So sink your chest between your shoulders, shoulder blades come together. Arms stay nice and straight. Spread your shoulder blades really, really far apart. Just see how far you can spread your shoulder blades apart. And then start to shift forward, gaze over the cliff. You're looking for something interesting, be really nosy. And then shift yourself back. Stack the shoulders over your wrists. Take a cow, lower your belly. Take the chest up. Return back to a neutral spine. Good. From here, if you have blocks and you're playing with blocks with me today, go ahead and place your hands on your blocks. And then tuck your toes if they're not already tucked. Lift your knees to hover, and then send your hips up as we arrive in our first downward facing dog. So you can do your down dog with your hands on blocks, or they can be on the floor if you're not doing that adventure today. And then just take a couple of moments to wiggle or do whatever it is you like to do when you arrive in your down dog. So you can pedal out your feet, wag your tail, whatever feels right. And then once you've gotten that excess energy out, come to stillness. Heels reaching down towards the floor. They don't need to touch. Knees are as bent as you need them to be. Push the blocks or the floor away and hug your arms in just like we do for tabletop. No tension in your neck. And take a breath. Really connect to the pose. And then use your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your foot to the outside of your hand or the block. And then lower your back knee. So we're in a lizard lunge. Keep your spine nice and long. I'm going to open twist to the left. So shift your weight onto your right hand and then twist. Send the left arm up towards the sky. And then lower your hand back down. Then we'll twist to the right. So now the weight's in your left hand and take the twist over. Right arm reaching up. So it's just finding length in the shoulder as you reach up towards the ceiling, but continuing to find length in the spine as the crown of your head reaches. And notice if you start to dump into that left shoulder and elbow, really activate the arm. Beautiful. From here, stay right where you are. And then pull your left heel towards your glute. Really feel your hamstrings turn on as you use the muscle to pull your heel towards your body. And then we'll pulse that 3 times. So pulsing for 3, 2, 1, and hold. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then send your top arm towards the back of your mat. If you're able to grab a hold of your foot, you can go ahead and do so. And then just intensifying that hip flexor stretch of your left leg, continue to pull your heel closer towards your body. And if you have your foot, release it. Let your leg lower back down, then return your hand back down to the floor, to the block, as you square your chest to the floor, or to the short edge of your mat. And then start to straighten your front leg as you send your hips back. Stack the back hip over the back knee. And you can lift the toes up towards the sky. So we're in a little semi-wide-legged half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. And then from here, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Okay, bend back into your front knee. Come back to your lizard lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, send your right foot back, come to a plank. You can lower down to your knees or stay on your toes, and then take a vinyasa. So shift forward, lower halfway or the belly. Shine your chest forward, take your back bend, cobra and up dog, and then make your way back to a downward facing dog. Good. Arrive in your down dog and reset. Hug the arms in, hips lift up, heels. Reach down, no tension in your neck, taking your breath here. And letting it go. Nice. Left leg reaches up on your inhale. Step your foot to the outside of your hand, lower your back knee, shine your chest forward. Good. Taking the twist to the right first, so weight is in your left hand as you send your right arm up. Good. Keep your spine nice and long. Good. Return your hand to the mat or the block, and then take your left arm up as you twist over your front leg. Good. That upward lifting energy is present, so you're lifting up, pushing into the mat or the block. Arm reaching up. Pull your right heel towards your glute. Good. Really feel those hamstrings turn on, and then we'll pulse it up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 3, 2, 1. Send your top arm to reach towards the back of the mat, and if you are able to find your foot, you can, of course, take the passive stretch, pulling your heel closer to your body. And if you have your foot, release it with control, and then return your hand back down to the block or to the floor. Come back to your lizard lunge, and then straighten your front leg, come to your semi-wide-legged half split. Square your hips to the short edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your back nice and flat. Good. Rise up as you bend back into your front knee. Plant your hands on the floor of the block. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then send your front leg back to your plank of choice. Knees or toes, clean it out. Take a vinyasa. Make your way back. Find a downward facing dog. Good. Arrive here as you reset. Take the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step your foot in between your hands this time, and then rise up, finding yourself in a high crescent Uddayana. Good. Really activate the pose so the back glutes are turned on to send the leg behind you. You decide how deep of a bend you want in that front leg, and then open up and find Virabhadrasana Warrior 2. Arms out to the side. Good. Stack your shoulders over your hips. So notice if you're reaching forward, pull it back. Front thigh spinning in and up. Pinky edge of the back foot stays in contact with the mat. Then straighten your front leg. Both arms reach up. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand and just take a little side stretch towards the back of your mat. If you want to play with lifting the toes of the front foot, you may do that as well. Good. If the sole of the foot is lifted, return it down. Release your arms out to the side. And then send your hips back as you reach towards the top of your mat, coming into triangle pose. So whichever triangle variation you want to play with, you can have your hands on the floor or on your foot or on the block. And then work, keep your balance, and then work to square your chest open. Good. Release your top hand to the ground as you come to the ball of your back foot, and then frame your front foot with your hands. Come into a very extended pyramid here. And once you arrive, keeping your back nice and flat, just keep pressing that back heel down towards the ground. So your legs are split pretty wide, and your chest is squaring to the floor with a nice flat back. Good. From here, step your front foot back and arrive back to a downward facing dog. And then take a breath and reset. Inhale. Exhale. Good. When you're ready, lift your left leg up. Step your foot in between your hands. Take your time and then rise up. Find your high crescent. Good. Really find the pose. Engage all of the things. And then open up, find your warrior 2. Pinky edge stays in contact with the mat, that back leg. Notice if you're reaching forward, pull it back, stack the shoulders. Good. Straighten your front leg, both arms reach up. Take your little side bend towards the back of your mat. Maybe lift your toes. And release your foot if it's lifted. Release your arms out to the side, coming into your triangle. Hips shift back, arms reach forward, and then come to your Uddayana Trikonasana, triangle pose on this side. Try to keep the underside body, your left side, long, so try not to collapse. Try to lengthen the crown of your head in the direction of the top of your mat. And then lowering the top hand down, framing your front foot with your hands, come to the ball of your back foot, coming into this extended pyramid. On the second side, so square your hips and then start to reach the back heel down. Good. Keep the spine nice and long, reaching the crown of your head forward. And then step the front foot back. Downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward to the plank of your choice so you can stay on your toes or on your knees. Clean it out. Take a vinyasa halfway or the belly. Cobra or an up dog. Make your way back to a downward facing dog. And then reset in your down dog. Take the breath. Inhale. Exhale. And when you're ready, lift your right leg up. Step your foot in between your hands. Come back to your high crescent. Arms up and overhead. Engage the triceps. Keep your arms on. Don't lose that engagement. Open up, find your warrior two. Arms out. East and west, or north and south, depending on where you are in the world. Good. Straighten your front leg. Reach it back. Find your reverse archer. Now come through your triangle. So send the hips back. Reach forward. Lower the arm. Take your time to really square your chest towards the long edge of your mat. Good. Lower the back hand down. This time, instead of framing your front foot with your hand, place your left hand down to the floor, to the block. Pivot on the back heel. And then reach your right arm up under your right leg. And then place your hand on the block. From here, we're going to play with a little bit of flying lizard. So pull your right heel towards your body. So clamp your leg on your arm. And then look forward. Bend your elbows back as you shift forward. Keep shifting forward. Keep looking forward. And maybe the back leg lifts. Maybe you keep it long. Maybe you bend or you play here. With a little flying lizard. And when you're done playing, set the back foot down. And then send your right leg back up to a three-legged dog. From here, bend your knee, open your hip. So you can stay here in a scorpion dog, or you can flip it over for a wild thing. Send your chest up to the sky. But if you're in scorpion or wild thing, just make your way back to downward facing dog. And then reset as you take your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Moving to the second side, lift your left leg up. Step your foot in between your hands. Rise up, find your high crescent. You decide how deeply you bend in that front knee. And then open up, warrior two. Stack the shoulders. Good, reverse your archer. Arms reach up, dip it back. Maybe the toes. Good, come back through, arms out to the side. Make your way to your Uddayana Trikonasana. Triangle pose on this side. Good, we're gonna make our way into our little flying lizard. So lower your top hand down. Place your hand on the floor of the block as you pivot on the ball of your back leg. And then reach your left arm under your left leg. You wanna come to where the top of your foot is facing the mat. Look forward, shift forward, look forward. Maybe the back leg lifts. Maybe you bend it. Release your foot back down in whichever way you can. Make your way back to your three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Option to flip it over. Find your wild thing. And make your way back to your downward facing dog. And then shift forward, clean it out, take a Vinyasa of your choice. Make your way back to your downward facing dog. And then reset. Come back to your breath, come back to your gratitude. And then simply bend your knees, lower your shins down to the floor. Come to kneeling. From here, place your hands on your low back. You can have your palms facing down towards the floor, or you can even place your thumbs on your low back. So you decide what you want to do. We're going to come into a modified camel. If you want to do a full camel, it's your body, do your thing. But just lift your chest up as you send your hips forward. Shoulder blades come together as you reach back. So you can just stay in whatever depth your body is willing to play with. Just working on sending the hips forward and all that compression. And then we'll come out of it. So send your booty back first. Allow your back to arch. And then coming back to neutral. And come to sit on your heels. From here, your right arm reaches up. And then take a little twist. So send your right hand towards the outside of your left thigh. Left hand is reaching behind you. Keeping your spine nice and long. And then left arm comes up and overhead. Take a little diagonal side bend. Release your top hand to the opposite thigh. So left hand comes towards the right thigh. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Draw your belly in. And then as you unwind your arms, come back to kneeling. So rise back up on your knees, send both arms up to the sky. But release your hand and we'll come through that little back bend one more time. So once again, as deep as your body's willing to play with, as you send your hips forward, find length and then move back. So don't crunch, right? Upward lifting energy. As you find the back bend that you have available today, you can come into your full camel like. And then make your way back up. Send your butt back first. Arch your low back, tuck the tailbone, and then come back to that neutral spine as you lower your hips down towards your heels, and we'll twist on the second side. Left arm reaches up, twist. Left arm comes towards the opposite thigh. Lengthen your spine as you deepen into your twist. The back arm reaches up and then take the diagonal bend towards the left. Release your top hand towards the opposite thigh. So right arm is on top, right hand on left thigh, shoulder blades spread apart. Wonderful. Then simply uncross your arms, come back to that sit on your heels. Sitting on your heels. Good. We'll come into a brief little rabbit pose from here just to counter that back bend. So hinge forward, placing the crown of your head on the floor, trying to get your nose as close to that space in between your legs as you can, and then lifting the hips up. Hands can come to your calf or to your heels, and just lift your hips up as you pull your hand against your heel or your leg. And then come back down, send your hips down. And then come to a seat. So cross your ankles behind you. Come into a comfortable seated position. So you can sit on a block if you like. Or cross at the ankles or the shins, or pull your heel to your groin. Then place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Either soften your gaze or shut down your eyes. Come back to your gratitude. Come back to your breath, just like we did in the beginning of the flow. And just observe if anything at all has shifted. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It can be emotional. It can be mental clarity. It can be a lot of different things. So really Take the time to check in with all of those components of yourself that we gathered together. It's like a little staff meeting of all the pieces of you. Stay here in contemplation for as long as you would like. Thank you so much once again for letting me guide you through your practice. Please like and share and comment, interact with me, and I will see you in the next one. Namaste. If you enjoy flowing with me, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you'll be the first one to know when I release a new class. For access to my full library of pulse tutorials and continuously growing full-length classes, subscribe to Phoenix Fitness Yoga on Demand. Just click the link in the description to learn more. Namaste.